You want integrity, you want quality, you want value, you want Royalty Roofing. You get all three of those and much more. With me now are a couple of gentlemen who are going to tell you all about it. Dale Sventeck. Dale is the vice president, and he's also in charge of the commercial side of the business. Dale, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John.
And Ted Waldeyer. Ted, you're welcome as well. Now, you're in charge of the residential side, right, Ted?
I am one of the residential salesmen, yes.
All right. I'm really curious, or actually, we've had a short conversation. I'm familiar with the company, but I want you to get familiar. So, Dale, let's start with a little bit of background. You were telling me family-owned, right?
Yes, absolutely. Andy Royalty started roofing houses back in the high school era, and then he went into business after he earned his degree. Stayed with that a number of years, and then actually expanded into the commercial side around 94, 95. Today we service our residential market probably within a 100-mile, 150-mile radius of Louisville, and commercially we are in 48 states. And where people eat, shop, they've been in and probably been under some of our guys working on the roof. We put on about 4 million miles a year.
Whoa. For
service trucks as well as our installation crews. So we're very responsive to the needs of both our residential and our commercial markets.
Yeah, to be in business that long, since '86 and family owned, that shows you that customers are happy. Okay, so here comes the educational side, guys. Okay. I want to know about the difference between commercial roofing and residential roofing. So we'll start with our residential guy. Ted, residential, what's the difference between it and what we do over here?
Obviously, residential is going to be more shingles. It's going to be people's houses, apartments, condominium buildings, that kind of stuff. And I'll let Dale address the commercial side.
Yeah, and the commercial side is?
The commercial side is primarily flat to what we call low slope. It's a 312 pitch. We don't get into the steep slope, which would be as shingles.
Because most commercial buildings are built like big warehouses.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Most of them are flat or very low slope with gutter systems built in, maybe small walls.
Something like what we're looking at here, right?
Yes, absolutely. That is one of our projects that we did. It was over a couple 100,000 square feet, actually, and we finished that in 11 days. So
you finished that in 11 days?
Yes.
So that's another thing. Hey, if time is important to you, and isn't it for everyone, then I would say Royalty Roofing is the way to go. All right, let's talk about the components that make up a roof. Guys, I hate to pick your brain like this, but I think it is good for people to know. Education is key. So what are the components?
Okay, simply for the commercial side, we're looking at a deck. That could be a lightweight concrete. Typically, it's a metal or a wood. Then there'll be insulation on top of that, and then we go in with what we call a membrane roof. It's white, extremely reflective. It's actually in the EPA's Energy Star system, 87% of the light is reflected. So if you have any rooftop air conditioning units or anything, it's ambient temperature air going through those to cool the building as opposed to superheated, which could be 30 to 50 degrees warmer with a dark roof.
Wow. So this is like NASA stuff. There is a science to it, right?
There really is. There really is. And with energy efficiency today, it's critical.
All right. Ted, I'll ask you this. Okay, so we have someone watching. Maybe they're in need of a roof. Perhaps they got a little rain. They've noticed some issues with their roof. Okay, so what should they look for in a contractor? If they're reaching out to Royalty Roofing or maybe one of your competitors, what are some questions you hear common?
Well, the first thing I tell people, go to the BBB.org, the Better Business Bureau. See that they're A+ rated. You can find out the whole history of the company on that. There's other things such as...
I like the Better Business Bureau, though, you know, because it then shows people, hey, they're happy with the work that you do. And you're proud to point those there. There are roofers, and you may know some, and some of them don't exist anymore, who would rather you not go to the Better Business Bureau. Absolutely. So that's a good thing. That's a good start there, right? And
yes.
Other questions?
Other questions from homeowners, how long have you been around? You know, we can say since 1986. We were going to offer you a 10-year workmanship warranty, which you're not going to find from anybody, because after we're done with the roof, we own it for 10 years.
Wow. We
will take care of any leaks, any problems that they may have.
That speaks volumes.
Yes.
So that you may have answered my question, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Dale, because you may have thought of something else. But what separates you from the competition? I like this 10-year warranty. Are there other things that you think separates Royalty from others?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, you need somebody with experience. You need somebody who's done a lot of this work. We've installed nearly 50 million square feet of flat roofing, several million square feet of shingles. We encourage people to look at several roofers, but we recommend you get references on them. We actually give out a very detailed proposal book.
Yeah, hold that open. That's interesting. So, yeah, this has some thickness to it. So the proposal book is something that it shows you options. What exactly?
Well, it's an education process first. People today make informed decisions, and we're providing them the information that they can use at their fingertips in their own home to look at it and put this together. And it will have the photos of their roof, because they're probably not getting up on the roof. It will give a very detailed written estimate, and we're very transparent on warranties. Unless you understand your warranty up front, it's like your car or your auto or your health insurance. You don't know what you have until you use it and what's not included. So we want to be very transparent. We want people well educated to make informed decisions when they're putting on a roof.
See, now I know why you've been in business since '86, because I'm with you. If you're making a decision like your roof, okay, this is significant, and you want to make sure that you're educated, that you ask the right questions, and that you have the right answers, and Royalty will provide that. All right, let's talk a little bit about if someone's watching now, again, whether they own a business, maybe it's their home, how does the process work? Do they call you, Ted? Do they call you, Ted, if they're a residential owner? And they call you and say, okay, can you come out for an estimate? Do you take a look-see? How does that work?
Absolutely. They would call the office. The girls would build a folder for us. We would go out to the house, get up on the roof, inspect it, give the homeowners a report on that. We give estimates on the spot if they're looking for a price right there. We also can advise them if they need to call the insurance company. Maybe they have hail damage.
Can you help with that?
Absolutely.
Insurance companies can get complex. That's important.
That is something we do. Yes, we work with the insurance companies on a daily basis.
Love that. Yeah, I think that's important, because I wouldn't want to deal with that. You guys are, so in other words, you're turnkey. You'll take care of everything.
We absolutely are, and I would just like to add, on the commercial side, there's no flyover and giving you an estimate. We are getting out on your roof. Okay. We're going to do core testing to make sure your roof is dry. Does it need any special attention? Do you need new gutters? We do our own sheet metal fabrication, gutters, downspouts. We're getting you watertight. So what's up there on the roof, we're going to provide you in a very detailed estimate, so that somebody isn't giving you just a synopsis of a short term. You're going to see all the details. The last thing you want is to be opened up to the weather and then somebody saying, now we have to add this, we didn't know about this. We're going to be extremely thorough. That's why it's in great detail and photos and everything, so they understand exactly what they're getting.
Integrity, quality, value. Okay, Dale, this story I find interesting, because I know why you're passionate about your business. Because you were on the other side of the table at one time. You were a customer.
Yes.
And you decided to join the team. Tell me about that experience.
Okay, it was probably 17, 18 years ago. I was heading up a condominium board, and we needed a lot of work that hadn't been done in over 30 years. We had 26 buildings, carports, and some other things, and we needed new roofs. The challenge was they were mansard roofs, and a mansard roof has a flat roof but steep shingles on the side. And so we wanted one contractor that could do all that work. And typically you find a lot of contractors may dabble in one or the other, but they're really good in one area.
Right.
So we did what we wanted other people to do. We investigated thoroughly. And this is where anybody who's looking at a roof, they really don't know what to do first, and it's so expensive. But if you get educated, and that's what we're doing for folks, we want them to understand. So once we made, it was $1 million roof project, and we boiled it down after looking at the manufacturers, the reps. We looked at their warranties, we read them thoroughly. Then we had them bring in 5 or 6 qualified contractors. But what we found was Royalty was the one that bridged the gap between the shingle side and the flat side. In both cases, had an elevated, authorized requirements for these manufacturers to install their product. And they did both of those.
Wow.
And those have been on since then, and the roofs are still very good.
So there you go.
Yes.
So you did all the homework when you were at the condos for us. So you know, you examined a lot of different companies.
Exactly.
So again, Royalty Roofing, if you're looking for integrity, quality, and value, you see the pictures, you see the website. Ted, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Dale, you as well. It was very informative. Again, Royalty Roofing, there's the address, there's the phone number, and yes, they do serve Kentuckiana and the Louisville area. So give them a call today, whether it be commercial or residential.